It's been a little bit, Mitch, but BYU basketball officially announced the signing of the Polish big Jakub Urbaniak, and I still think people are waiting to hear what other names are announced for this basketball roster. It's kind of crazy that we're already in August, and there still feels like there's quite a few openings on the roster.
Is this super niche of me, but when Jakub Urbaniak signed, I fired up some Little Yachty.
Yeah. I like it.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I took a walk to Poland. Again, the BYU didn't take the walk. They didn't take that, but they got a center from Poland. Jakub Urbaniak, here's a quote from Kevin Young, a written statement on Jakub. We're excited to add Jakub to our team. Maybe it's Jacob? I'm thinking Jakub
We got to
Pirtle.
figure that out.
Jakub. Like, Yegor's just kind of scarred me.
Yeah, it's like we never know what we're actually pronouncing.
Yegor Demin. And then with the Brooklyn Nets, Yegor Diomin. And I still always point to that Memorial Day when BYU got him, that Memorial Day weekend. We're out in Stansbury. And we were saying it on the air. And Matt Biamonte, who's going to be joining us around 2 p.m., he's like laughing at me. It's like, Mitch, it's not Diomin. I'm like, I had someone who served a mission in Russia said it's Diomin. And then Yegor's like, how to pronounce my name? Demin. Anyway.
Yeah, we asked him point blank.
He said it point blank, like, how to pronounce your name? Demin. Okay. I was completely wrong. I sounded like an idiot. And then he gets to the NBA and it's Diomin. Anyway. Kevin Young says, we are excited to add Jakub to our team. He brings size, skill, athleticism, and experience. All things we were looking to add. He will fit in well with the way we want to play because of his versatility on both ends of the floor. We love his motor and competitiveness. We look forward to getting him on campus. That's also noteworthy, too. BYU just wrapped up summer practices, kind of a little bit of a break before fall semester begins at the end of the month, early September. And then training camp for the season typically begins at the end of September. So it sounds crazy, but we're not far off from BYU basketball season 2.
No, I think it said the BYU basketball account on Instagram yesterday, I believe said 10 Fridays away from the opening exhibition.
Yeah, against Nebraska.
So we're right there. It's 2 months away, Mitch.
It really is. And that's where, again, the search for another big ramps up. And Jackson Kohler, all eyes are going to be on him. BYU, Kentucky, Kansas are in the mix. But the interesting thing with Jackson Kohler, yes, there is an injunction to allow individuals like Jackson Kohler to play a fifth year in college basketball or college sports in general. The problem is, though, the injunction did not create any changes to the NCAA bylaws of when athletes can enter the transfer portal. And Kohler, who had what he thought at the time in April, his eligibility expire, he's getting ready for the NBA. He didn't think to go into the portal. Well, he technically, by the NCAA rules, cannot go into the portal, and the NCAA is digging its heels in and saying, this is our rules. We're not going to loosen this and just make it a free-for-all. So if Jackson Kohler gets an injunction to be allowed to go into the portal, then he can move, and it's fair game, and all systems go. But technically right now, he can't even go into the portal to go to Kentucky or go to BYU. It's just there can be talks, but really he can't even enter his name into the portal. And why that's of note is because if he's not in the portal, then he would become what is a ghost transfer now, which is someone being added to a roster that never entered the portal during the appropriate time. And then the school that adds a ghost transfer could have the head coach suspended for up to 50% of the season by the NCAA and face a fine for its athletic department. If I was in the case of BYU and wanted to get Jackson Kohler, I would then just say, NCAA, we're going to sue you over this and get an injunction over that. But I don't think BYU is wanting to get into those waters. So there's still a lot of moving parts, but I think this 5-5 is kind of the best path forward to add another big potentially.
Yeah, I think so too. And one thing that I've been kind of thinking about, and I want to get your thoughts on this too, is last year with Jared McGregor, he graduates, everybody thinks his eligibility is expired, but then he entered the transfer portal. Yeah. Like, is this something you think that players had an idea of months ago. I mean, it was just weird to see his name enter the transfer portal, and now I guess he's free game. He can go anywhere he wants.
Well, there's been talks for a long time about maybe adding a 5th year, and I think some players just maybe thought it's not going to happen, but hey,
why not?
Just throw it out there. Like we saw down at Texas Tech. I don't know if you saw that news this week. The BYU killer from a few years ago, Darian Williams, he was at Texas Tech 2 years ago, gashed BYU in Provo, that number 5, transferred to NC State last year. After his senior season, he's getting ready for the pros. He just kind of threw his name into the portal just in case a 5th year opens up. He did that, and because he did that, and with this injunction, he was able to move, and now this week he's back at Texas Tech for a 5th year, and Texas Tech officially announced him. He's part of their program. That's where Jackson Kohler hasn't been able to land at a college program. It's that loophole of ghost transfers and portal entry. He needs an injunction on that. And again, this is where what we were talking about in hour 1, protect college sports. We're talking about injunctions needed to round out a roster. It's like, I'm kind of like, it is what it is. But I'll tell you what, if BYU got Jackson Kohler, I believe, Nate, BYU would be a preseason top 15 team.
Yeah.
I think they would be loaded.
Yeah, because guard play, I mean, the only question mark is the big. If you get a guy like Jackson Kohler, probably top 15 team.
He's one of the best rebounders in the game. I mean, in Power 4 level. He was outstanding in the Big Ten. Let's take a break. We'll get to more BYU football next.